the greatest hoax perpetrated against Tanzania. In the last few days, there has been an unprecedented level of interest worldwide in the whereabouts of Tanzanian President Dr. John Pombe Magufuli. Wild speculations about the president being incapacitated as a result of complications with COVID-19 have made headlines around the world on articles in major news outlets such as BBC, Al Jazeera, Reuters, Bloomberg, and many more, all reporting that President Magufuli is in a Nairobi hospital undergoing treatment for COVID-19. On social media, the topic is even more intriguing, as some have gone as far as suggesting the president has passed away on March 12th, something that is completely false. This begs the question of who is behind this massive disinformation campaign and what is their endgame. In order to answer these questions, we must first understand what is the current position of President Magufuli and Tanzania government on COVID-19. Contrary to the belief of many, the government of Tanzania has in fact taken the coronavirus pandemic seriously and instituted World Health Organization recommendations for prevention and containment of this deadly disease. Under the stewardship of President Magufuli, the country has enjoyed a sustainable period of normalcy, with no lockdowns, and for the most part the country has been opened for business and Tanzanians enjoying the daily lives with fewer cases per capita of COVID-19. This is evident by the recent elections, major sporting events, and large music festivals, all that attracted huge crowds with little or no proven COVID-19 cases aftermath. The government acknowledges the virus is present within the population and has taken mitigation steps to slow the spread by using, among other things, local herbal remedies, steam inhalations, the use of locally produced COVID-19 medication, such as Covido, in addition to the basic World Health Organization guidelines of washing hands, promoting the use of masks, and social distancing. The greatest hoax perpetrated against Tanzania. When news of the president's health started circulating on multiple news outlets and on social media, it was no surprise the same individuals who have always been against President Magufuli and his government were on overdrive, spreading falsehoods and misinformation, led by Mr. Tundu Lissu, the opposition leader who is in self-imposed exile in Belgium. Mr. Lissu has been the single source in virtually all news articles. The immediate question one has to ask is, how did all the major news outlets such as BBC, Al Jazeera, Reuters and others report on such a questionable, unverified story using a single source? And that source is none other than the opposition leader Tundu Lissu. This unprecedented level of lack of investigative journalism on the subject leaves a lot to be desired and hints at a bigger conspiracy on the matter. In the world of technological advancement in media reporting, how come there has been no pictures of Magufuli in hospital? No pictures of security forces at the Nairobi hospital typical of a high-profile patient? No government officials seen entering or leaving the hospital, rather these wild statements in the forms of tweets from Tundu Lissu, with the latest that President Magufuli has been whisked to India in a coma for further treatment. Such reckless reporting with the aim to destabilise the country and sow discord among its people using mass media begs further questions on why undertake such an effort at this scale. The answer lies in President Magufuli's position on the COVID-19 vaccine. The greatest hoax perpetrated against Tanzania. President Magufuli and the government of Tanzania have stated that they will not accept the vaccine like many other countries in the region until the vaccine is proven safe by Tanzania health professionals, who are currently conducting studies and following up on developments on those countries currently being vaccinated. The COVID-19 vaccine has been a subject of many controversies, such as the South Africa AstraZeneca saga, that saw the government of South Africa suspend the use of the vaccine. Therefore, it is reasonable for the President and the government of Tanzania to want to be cautious prior to accepting the vaccine. This reluctance on rushing to accept the vaccine and join other nations on the region's COVAX program has triggered debate and unfair accusations that the President and the government have been complacent with the well-being of the Tanzanian people, something that is far from the truth and in fact standard protocol by a sovereign country's right to evaluate and ensure safety of vaccines prior to issuing orders for widespread vaccination of its people. The greatest hoax perpetrated against Tanzania. Another fascinating thing is the role of Kenyan news networks in reporting this incident. One will think that it should be relatively easy for a local news organisation in Kenya to report on a story of such magnitude, with more in-depth coverage and analysis on the matter, but they too have been using the same single source of Tundu Lissu. Does this mean the Kenyan news networks are colluding with the same people on this disinformation campaign? Right before this story broke, there was another tense story about the banning of Tanzania and Uganda maize imports from entering Kenya on grounds that the maize has been shown by the Agriculture and Food Authoring of Kenya to contain high levels of mycotoxins in the maize, well above safety levels. However, in less than a week, the Kenyan government backtracked its position. Then came the Magufuli health story and the systematic false narrative of his critical COVID-19 hospitalization in Nairobi, which is not only false but misleading, as President Magufuli never left Tanzania for treatment in the first place, and he is said to be in good health and discharging his duties as clearly stated by the Prime Minister of Tanzania, Mr. Kassim Majaliwa, on Friday, March 12, 2021.
Welcome to thedoor.com. The Door is a platform where you can buy and sell anything, anytime, anywhere. Making money easy way.
It's swift, secure, and easy. Dad.org, transforming lives.